Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I am going to be giving you my Leo June 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as June goes, Venus will be in Gemini from the 9th until the 30th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could be a time where you may strongly value communication, being inquisitive, versatility, perhaps in matters with your friends and your groups, your goals and aspirations at this time. And also, too, if you're unattached at this time, Leo, you may connect with a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or one that embodies Gemini traits that might have a very strong impact on your future. You may meet this person at some group or organization or club. It could be through social media. It could also manifest perhaps in spending money on manifold things at this time, maybe for your friends or maybe acquaintances. You may know it could also be or maybe somehow tied into humanitarian endeavors. This could be also where it could about being loving, perhaps enjoying maybe things that maybe are superficial, perhaps with friends, with acquaintances at this time, but also guard against vicariousness. Gemini energy can often be about this, and vicariously living through others' goals and aspirations rather than your own. So anyway, well, next thing up, Mars will be in Cancer at this time, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could manifest perhaps in lamenting over past hurts. It could be oneself undoing and tied into one's secret sorrows. There could also be contentious situations with family members that are tied into your secret sorrows at this time, and you bear them very privately. It could also be where you might have diminished vitality and energy at this time as well, but also perhaps very tenacious energy in trying to weed out hidden adversaries and doing in matters perhaps in helping others less fortunate, also taking action in rescuing those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, the hungry. It could also be in some isolated cases, it could manifest in trying to combat some Cancerian type mental illness, such as compulsive hoarding, at this time, and also a lot of energy introverted in private matters and doing things, Cancerian things in private, such as cooking, something with culinary, laundry. It could be things that are associated with nostalgia or family. So anyway, next thing up, Jupiter will still be in Sagittarius, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, as I've talked about previously, Jupiter can be very paradoxical, it can be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in a lot of cases, this could enlarge and expand. Foolhardy, over-optimistic, over-enthusiastic, reckless behavior, perhaps with children, with lovers at this time. But at the same time, this could be very fortuitous for sports gambling and perhaps prosperity through that, if you are especially somebody that is into that. Now, it could also be a time where you could put a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm into Sagittarius-like sports, such as horseback riding or archery, target practice. And at a time, too, you might find this could also be about a lot of hope and optimism and injecting religion into some, and really about having religion as something that could be very enjoyable and fun at this time. And also it could be about where we're really having just a good, robust, a very large sense of humor. It could really be tied in to your personal popularity at this time as well. So anyway, Next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the 6th house will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might be experiencing some restrictions and limitations in health-related matters. You might also find yourself taking care of perhaps a sickly or debilitated aunt or uncle or somebody that's prominent in your daily routine. It could be somebody at your place of employment. It could be something Capricorn-related, such as something with the knees, the bones, or the joints, and making you feel somewhat melancholy and despondent at this time. But also it could be a time where you're gaining more structure and discipline in your daily routine, in your employment at this time. Also too, could even indicate there might be some restrictions or limitations in matters with pets, and you might have been taking care of a pet that might be sickly or debilitated at this time. And also too, you might be experiencing some kind of Saturn / Capricorn health related issues at this time, such as something with the knees, the bones, or the joints at this time. And anyway, and this is also a time where you might be doing something as far as employment goes that could be Saturn Capricorn related, such as something as working in dentistry or business or politics or even accounting, anything that could be Capricorn / Saturn type related. So anyway, or just working laboriously at a Capricorn type field. So anyway. Next thing up, Uranus will still be in Taurus, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you may experience some unusual, stubborn, obstinate behavior, perhaps from a dominant parent, which is often the father, authority figures in general. It could be supervisors. It could also be or Taurus friendships. It could be Taurus Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus traits might figure more prominently in your career, your success, attaining notoriety, recognition at this time, attaining a position of authority. It could be a time too where you may undergo some radical change in your career, your profession. It could be something where you might be doing something Uranus-like as far as your career goes, such as something with astrology, aerospace, electronics, computers, innovation. And financial fluctuations too might impact perhaps if you're trying to attain more notoriety, recognition, such as spending money, trying to increase that. It could also be at this time another way this may manifest. This could be about very stubborn, rebellious behavior in matters with authority at this time, and also could be very spontaneous, unpredictable change in your profession again at this time as well. So those are some ways that this may manifest. So anyway. Well, next thing up, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, this could manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be about dealing with perhaps very nebulous and unclear sexual partners, or someone you're in an intimate relationship with. They could be very deceptive and duplicitous. Or involved in drugs or alcohol. It could also be the dissipation, the dissolving, sadly, of the libido at this time. And also too, I mean, it could be a time where you might go through some kind of spiritual, metaphysical, or detox type transformation at this time. And also perhaps dealing with confounding issues in connection with taxes, insurance, alimony at this time. And when you're talking about, I mean, this could also manifest in some cases of dealing with credit card fraud at this time, but also a lot of self-sacrificing and shared resources at this time as well, or maybe even a Neptune type surgery, such as something with the feet or the toes at this time. So anyway, but at the same time, remember that Neptune energy can be somewhat lethargic. It could be more about fantasizing and daydream as opposed to doing, and especially if this is making an adverse aspect to your Sun, your Mars, or your Ascendant, and you might be more thinking about daydreaming regarding 8th house matters as opposed to actually doing them, such as making a major change or transformation or dealing with a crisis issue at this time. Well, anyway, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. This could manifest in an actual literal death of an aunt or an uncle or a pet even, or someone prominent in your daily routine, your work, your employment, life. You may be dealing with more upheavals and power struggles at your place of employment, but guard against overly domineering behavior over at your place of employment at this time and in your daily routine in general. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, I could be doing something at this time as far as transformation in terms of your health at this time. It could be where you might start working out vigorously. It could be a time too where you might do something Pluto related as far as your work goes. It could be something with insurance, recycling, rebuilding, the occult, supernatural, surgery, astrology, something with forensics or investigation. It may also be this a little greater propensity for experiencing Pluto health related issues, such as something with the reproductive, the pelvic area, or reproductive system, pelvic area, the sex organs at this time. And this could be especially true to say if this is making an inconjunct to your ascendant or just an adverse aspect to your sun or your Mars. I would say especially the sun perhaps at this time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Leo June 2019 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Virgo June 2019 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.